I promised you that I would be back with an update on the Lieutenant Colonel Depreo case out of Fort Polk, which is now Fort Johnson? But more on that on a later video. And quick shout out to Rose Thayer for keeping us in the know with her reporting for Stars and Stripes. Here we go. When I first brought you this story last month, we knew that Lieutenant Colonel Depreo was up on charges of abusive sexual contact of some sort, which according to the UCMJ, abusive sexual contact is some form of touching of an enumerated list of body parts. If you're interested in knowing what the enumerated list of body parts is, it's listed right down here. Sexual contact means touching or causing. You guys can read that there. The touching of these body parts must be done with, right here, the intent to abuse, humiliate, harass, or degrade any person, or to arouse or gratify the sexual desire of any person. So Depreo was charged with this Article 120 offense. But when it was first reported, we didn't know what led to this charge until Lieutenant Colonel Depreo's court-martial, which occurred last week. During the guilty plea, we learned the true or true-ish nature of what happened on the night in question. The victim in this case is a sergeant who was under Depreo's command. Depreo stood accused of touching the sergeant's buttocks and also making sexual comments to her. And just a reminder that Depreo was the 46th Engineer Battalion Commander. The allegation stemmed from the holiday party which took place on November 28, 2022 in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Depreo was initially charged with an Article 120 abusive sexual contact. He was also charged with one count of Article 93, which is maltreatment of a subordinate, and he was charged with 2 Article 133 offenses, which is conduct unbecoming an officer. Through a plea agreement, Depreo pled guilty to an Article 128 offense, which is assault consummated by battery, and 1 count of conduct unbecoming an officer. With the guilty plea, Depreo was sentenced to 2 months of confinement. And with this guilty plea, Depreo will not have to register as a sex offender. He is, however, still facing a possible administrative discharge from the Army, and if he is allowed to retire in lieu of a discharge, or if a discharge is not initiated because it's not mandatory in this case, he is still facing an officer grade determination, which means he could retire at the lower grade of major when he retires. This is a very interesting case. There may be more to come, although everything from here on out, all this administrative stuff is going to be kept under lock and key. So we may never know the final result. That's all I have for this case. Before you go, be sure to click follow. I cover all things true crime relating to the military or veteran community. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll see you in the next video.